In terms of the British retail sort of leadership, I think we will be in a position to continue to do good stuff if we learn from people around the world. If we take an arrogant view that we're pretty good at it, we don't learn from other people, then we obviously won't be in such a leadership position going forward. We've become a lot more demanding as HR throughout the last couple of years. I think there's two things that have gone on for me in that. First is obviously with the recession, we've had to look at our costs a lot more, and then that's coincided with the rise of LinkedIn and other sort of direct mechanisms. So I think that the good search companies, the good recruitment consultants have had to up their game. The bad ones have simply tried to do what they did before and do it more loudly and more vigorously, and have therefore annoyed more people by doing that. Where possible, we've actually set up our own talent pools, we've set up our own talent mapping, and we've done some of the work that we traditionally would have given to other people to do. And as a result of that, I think we probably understood the way of doing it a lot better, and therefore value, when we actually do use outside agencies, outside consultants, we probably value that even more than we did before, because we know actually when you do use it, how special that can become. I think in a difficult period, in a recession, that creates opportunities as well as challenges, as per normal. And some of the opportunities being that actually, if you can offer hope, if you can offer a career path, if you can offer some good prospects, then people will still want to move around, and people will still want to be attracted by you and by your employer brand. In terms of the other challenges that it's created is that obviously it's made people look at their costs a lot more, and therefore I think that's driven some internal capability, or resurfaced some internal capability that maybe had been lacking in the past. First of all, the best brand that you've got is your frontline staff. So if you're a good B2C brand, the people who are working on your shop floor, the people who are working on your restaurant floor, the people who are working in your hotel lobby, they are the best employer brand that you can have. So we must always remember that those guys are the ones who impress people on a day-to-day basis, much more than a CEO or an HR director. Second thing in terms of employer brand is, are you in an exciting industry, or are you in not such an exciting industry? Now, if you're in a high-tech, an Apple type world, I'm sure it's relatively easy to attract some talent. If you're in retail, it's not so easy. Therefore, you need to think about how do you do that. And then even within retail, you've got a sort of sexier end of retail where you've maybe got fashion side of things. You've got a less sexy end of retail where you're potentially in home improvement. So how do you sort of work that through? Good thing that we have in terms of home improvement is that we have a customer proposition that everybody can relate to. Everybody has a home, therefore everybody can relate to what we try and do. I think that over the last 2 or 3 years I've had the good fortune to work with a lot of international retailers in my role in Kingfisher, and I've been thoroughly impressed by the people that we work with. First of all, obviously you're working with a lot of people for whom English is not their first language, therefore you're working with people who are operating fantastically professionally in a second, or sometimes a third, or even sometimes a fourth language. Secondly, in terms of certainly working with the French, I had some prejudices and preconceptions before really working with French retailers. What I really admire about the French side of things is they have a very, very strong view of what a retailer should do, and also quite a strong view of what a retailer shouldn't do. And actually I think that you can see, certainly in continental Europe, a lot of very successful French companies who have expanded across Central Europe and continental Europe, and who really seem to have a very, very successful retail track record. Moving further afield, I think there's certainly, I've met some fantastic retailers in Eastern Europe, in Turkey, and out into China and Hong Kong as well. So I've been very lucky to see those guys.